Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan video. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan Youth, the physical one, and how he does at 55% in the hidden potential system. So I haven't been able to get Gohan myself. Fortunately, I can run a pretty good team for him. 200% lead on my side, 220% on his, so we'll get a good idea of how well he does. Gohan is a 220% full power category lead of Ki plus 4. He raises attacking defense on 1 turn on his 12 key, whilst lowering the opposition defense, and on his 18 key he greatly raises attacking defense for 1 turn, and greatly lowers the defense. He will activate his entrance animation when there's another full power or android cell saga category ally on the team upon the character's entry, and he will launch an additional attack that has a medium chance of becoming a super attack per existing enemy. So he can launch up to 5 times in 1 turn, and he will launch 2 additional super attacks for 4 turns. That means that if you're facing 3 or 4 enemies, Gohan will do like 7 supers in 1 turn, which is pretty nuts. He has Ki plus 5, attacking defense of 258%, guarding all attacks, damage reduction of 20%, and an additional Ki plus 1 per key sphere obtained. When attacking, he'll get 158% attack boost, and for every attack performed, he'll build up his attacking defense by 10% up to 80% and Ki up 1 up to 5. When receiving an attack, he gets defense of 158%, and starting from the character's 5th turn, he will get defense up of 58% when attacking with 18 or more Ki, and attack up of 158% when attacking with 18 or more Ki. He will also perform a guaranteed critical hit when activating the active skill, or when attacking with 24 Ki. His link skills are Super Saiyan, Samurai Race, Kamehameha, Prepared for Battle, Shocking Speed, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. He's on All Out Struggle, Android Cell Saga, Battle of Fate, Bond Master and Child, Master and Disciple, Parents and Child, Demonic Power, Earthgrid Fighters, Earth Protecting Heroes, SS2, PBS, Tournament Participants, Transformation Boost, Youth, Goku's Family, Full Power, Exploding Rage, etc. Gohan is pretty crazy. Gohan is actually really crazy. The big thing with Gohan is, I would say, first 2 turns is okay. The first 2 turns, generally speaking, I would say Gohan is good. He's not crazy, he's good. I would say from that 5th turn onwards, he becomes insane. He can hit so hard, his active skill can hit so hard, his defense becomes very, very good, and yeah, he's just a perfect second slot unit. Definitely a second slot unit. Look, when you're building him, you want to give him additionals, you want to give him evasion, because those first 2 turns aside, he does have crit for the majority of the fight, and so yeah, a little bit of crit's not the end of the world, but generally you want to max out getting those additionals in, because those additionals also help him perform and boost up his attack and Ki. But you also want to give him that dodge. You want to give him some dodge, makes him really defensively sound, gives him a really good foundation. Gohan's defense will sit at around about 400, 500, 600k before super at 55%. Depending on the amount of support that you have, his attack stats after that 5th turn will also fluctuate, switching over to around about 38 million, which is very, very good. The big thing with him is that he has a lot of stuff that occurs upon hit and after super. So he has 2 kind of conditional defensive requirements. So although the number you'll see may be like 450 in terms of defense, you have to remember that when he's hit, his defense goes up by 158%. So what that means is that 450 becomes almost a million. And when he 18 keys, his defense goes up again by 58%. So Gohan's running 2 different multiple stages of his defense multiplication kicking in, and that is very huge for him as a character. So that defense, that raw defense, becomes quite high. It doesn't mean he's necessarily a first slot tank, because there's always the risk that he gets supered before he can boost that additional defense, but what it does mean is that he can hold his own, and he can 100% hold his own. It is incredibly, incredibly, incredibly important. So very good there. Attack stat wise, amazing. Obviously supports have a huge influence on how hard he's going to hit. because supports are massive for him, boosting his attack that he has on key, boosting his attack he gains when he attacks at 158%. But generally speaking, or honestly, I just think he's an exceptional second slot. There's not a lot more to say about him from a functional standpoint, because he is a unit that you realistically only want to use in the second slot. By using him anywhere else, third slot obviously is fine, but you want to keep him on rotation, you are probably reducing his impact. Look, I will say, if there's no minimal risk of getting supered, he could hold down the fort in first slot, guarding 20% damage reduction rate, 158% defense on super. I think it'll be okay. Ultimately, though, he's definitely not a first slot unit at all, barring certain situations. He is 100% second slot, and that's fine. He'll link well with a lot of the units now, and you can always use the more defensive variants of Gogeta and Vegeta, the two new LRs, to really get the best out of Gohan. For me, what I'd say about Gohan is he is incredibly simple, and that may not be cool to some people. I know people don't like it to a certain extent. They wish there was more to him. I think they wish he had some secret game-ending mechanic, or that he had something going on. I think he's just incredibly simple. He is a unit that does a lot of damage. He's a unit that excels in the second slot. He is a unit that will not let you down from that aspect. And it is a bit unfortunate that I think people were expecting something else, maybe. They wanted Gohan to be this be-all, end-all, because I think that's kind of what a lot of these transmissions feel like to people, especially people who are big fans of the characters. First time Gohan went Super Saiyan, he was, godlike, so surely, the card must be the same. But the card is very good, at least in the second slot. He's exceptional, and I think you don't have to devalue him against expectation. For me, overall, I think Gohan is very, very solid. Now, in terms of Gohan's links, great link set. Super Saiyan, Saiyan Warrior Race, Kamehameha, Prepare for Battle, Shocking Speed, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. Super Saiyan, Saiyan Warrior Race, Prepare for Battle, Fierce Battle, Kamehameha, and Legendary Power are all over the place. You can get them with SS4 units, SS2 units, Super Saiyan units, Super Saiyan 3 units, Pure Saiyans, Hybrid Saiyans, Broly's, Goku's, Vegetas, Trunks's, and because there's no other conditional requirement outside of full power or Android Cell Saga for Gohan to just get that benefit of his entrance animation, it's quite flexible. You can run him for a Broly, and with a Broly, and have no ill side effects. For example, you could run him alongside the Tech Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan Broly, who's an exceptional first slot tank, and neither of them will have any ill side effects. And I think that's great. So Gohan, great second slot unit, nice team, full power, not the greatest, but pretty good. So yeah, good unit.